Hey everybody, just out here in the East River, New York City, fishing with the blue crab bait today. Got bluebird skies. There we go, fish on. Didn't take very long, I've only been here for a little while. Nice. First fish is a nice burgal. So you really don't need big pieces. I don't know if I need my pliers. I'm just going to go over to them. You can use really small pieces. You can see this is just like a tiny little piece of the crab that I used to catch this burgal, but I think there's a ton of them down there. Yeah, so we had 85 entries at the burgal tournament yesterday. 85 rods and reels, and the person that won was on a hand line. So that just goes to show you don't need much. I would say the green crab works better as the water cools off. Whoa. I think I have a fish on right now. I didn't even know. What the... Everybody's goofing and giggling out here. This is hilarious. I'm loving it. Good day. This is Sunday fishing for you. Go New York. It's an oyster toadfish. It's a pretty good one. The winner yesterday was 10 inches. There he is. Definitely a Tautog for sure. I'm going to try and talk over this person's music. Nice. Target species. There we go. Mix of the blue crab and the shrimp. Keep talking over the music. Keep talking over the music. That's target species. That's a Tautog, it's called. Awesome fish. Let's release it. So for the blue crab, basically what you want to do is, depending upon the hook size that you're using, you'll pull off the claws. Definitely be careful with these. These will definitely hold on to you and pinch you pretty good. So pull off the two claws and definitely save the claws. And then depending upon if you want to save these pieces for chumming later or whatever you want to do, but I usually trim them off. I don't really find a ton of use for them. So I'll just chum up the water with them. Usually I would do it in smaller pieces, but I'm just trying to demonstrate and do this a little quickly for you. So I would hit those little corners there. Those will release a little bit more juices. And these are purchased crabs. There's like regulations on harvesting your own crabs, so just make sure you look at your regulations for that. But I would trim off this little back skirt. I'm not sure what that's called. And then you're left with basically two main sections here, and depending upon your hook, you would divvy this up a little bit differently, but I'm using 1/0 hooks right now, so 1/0 AUGHT for the dash and the 0. So you got two sections here, and basically you'll divide the two kind of equally. You can pull off the main shell if you want, or leave it on, depending upon how hard it is to get in there. But I'm just gonna pull it off just so you the multiple ways to do it. You can leave it on or take it off, but for the 1/0 hook, I would use a section probably about this size. So I would do, so I basically have 3 baits here. I've got one section that's like 2 claws, and I got another section that's just 1 claw on this little extra area. And depending upon how big your blue blue crab is, you have to adjust that. But basically 2 leg sockets would be kind of ideal. And then I got a high-low rig going on here. Hopefully I didn't splash the camera. No, we're good. This is a 1/0 hook, kind of a smaller hook. Got some soccer games going on behind me just so you can see. But then you go out 1 leg socket, and then either out the other leg socket or find a little piece to come through just to grab on, and just make sure your end of your hook and barb is exposed. Yeah, tides are really slowing down in the river. It's kind of a good time to be out here. Shrimp on a jig. It worked. There we go. On the jig. That's a nice tog. That's a nice tog. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Nice, dude. On the jig. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Cheers. Wow. Jig. The jig. I should have been jigging. Damn. Shrimp on the jig. What an underrated move. I was thinking about that the other night. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Should go to Belize this winter. That'd be pretty fun. This is a 1/2 ounce Timora jig. I'll make sure to link it in the description for you. And the way that I caught that fish was sort of drifting it in the current. I was not getting anything on the rig, so it's like, let me try something low profile. I knew the tog were here. I was getting hit by the tog. I could feel it. Sometimes when the rig's not working and they've seen it a bunch of times, you throw that jig in there. Wow, it's jig time. It is jig time for sure. Is this another toad? Maybe a big toad? Yeah, but everything's into the jig. It's cool. As soon as it gets down there, the jig's getting hit. So it's working at least. There's definitely a bit of a finesse to using these light jigs. In fast current, you kind of have to just find like the cuts of the current. Woo! Slimy guys. Yeah, just pick this video up tomorrow, I guess. It's just all toads over here. Got 2 tog, which is cool, but I don't know. It's just toad after toad after toad. There we go. I think that's a striper. Yeah, I think this is either a striper or a nice tog. I can't figure it out. That's a nice tog. Stay out of that piling, buddy. That's a really nice one. Unbelievable. Choked it pretty bad. I'm gonna have a tough time getting that out. Maybe not. Pretty sure this is a keeper. Come on, buddy, open up. Oh yeah, I think I can get this. Yep, there we go. All right. Get a quick measurement on this guy. This is what I used for the tournament. Brought this out for the tournament, which is pretty cool. Official. So looks like it's 15 inches. Yeah, so just under a keeper. We rolling? Yeah, we're rolling. Official board. All right, buddy. See you later. Thanks for playing. Right back down. Somebody said that the bite was no good here yesterday. I said I gotta see for myself. Should I set it or wait? Can't tell. Oh, here we go. There we go. What do we got here? Wow. Can't believe there's still spot croaker in the river. That's kind of crazy. You think that these spot croaker are going to stay around in the wintertime? Because this could be a pretty fun species to target. Not going to lie. I'm going to let that one go and grow. I think there's just a lot of them down there. So that could be a really cool little winter species to go for here. I know we could live line this and get a striper, but I don't have like a drop net with me or anything right now with my bicycle, so I'm not really interested in the striper bass unless they're like schoolies and I can lift them up. Kind of had my fun with the striper, to be real with you. I'd rather just be at water level with them. It's just a lot easier to release them. Whoa. Something's on this rod. Feels pretty good. What did we get? I had this way out there. What did we get? No, don't go around the piling. Oh. Got it. Nice. Oh, striped bass. This is a fun video. Catching like lots of different species and learning about the blue crab, and just like very happy with the way this video is coming out. Super cool. Just keep in mind, if you're gonna target striped bass, you have to use circle hooks. I'm fishing for Tautog, so this is bycatch, so it's okay, but you really need to make sure you're using circle hooks if you're going to target the striper. Very cool. Definitely fall run's going on. You got about a month and a half of fishing before it's over.